Chow Liam episode 5 of 6. The one idea repeated here because this is where it lands. A builder is the least reliable auditor of their own build, exactly the way a model is the least reliable judge of its own output. You have run the instruments, you have the results. The confession is the hardest page because it requires you to name not just the mistake, but the fluency you were defending when you let it in. A bug report names what went wrong. A confession names why you wanted to believe the version that did not contain the mistake. That sentence, the one that starts "I wanted to believe," is the irreducibly human part of this assignment. The instruments can surface the mistake, only you can explain why it was there. The confession has 4 parts, all 4 are required. Missing any one of them drops the grade. Part 1, what the mistake was, the real one your instruments surfaced. Not hypothetical, not there could be bias, the specific finding, a leaked feature, an optimistic label, a chart that flattered the result, an unchecked confidence number, a join that silently dropped a subgroup. It needs to be specific enough that someone who has not seen your build can understand exactly what went wrong. Part 2, why you wanted to believe the version that contained it, the fluency you were defending. This is the part only you can write. Part 3, how an instrument caught it. Which instrument, the reliability diagram, the probe suite, the verb audit, and specifically what result it produced that you could not explain away. Part 4, what you changed and what residual risk remains after the fix. Not "I fixed it," what did you change and what do you still not fully control? All 4 parts are required. A confession that has the mistake but not the fluency you were defending is a bug report. A confession that has all 4 parts and is honest about part 2 is the thing the course is training. Second part is the hardest, and it is the one that separates a real confession from a bug report. Here are examples of what it looks like and what it does not look like. It does not look like this: I wanted to believe the accuracy was valid because of confirmation bias. That is a description of a cognitive phenomenon, not a confession. It looks like this: I wanted to believe the 94% accuracy was real because I had spent 3 days on feature engineering. And a lower number would have meant those 3 days produced nothing. That sentence is specific. It names the investment, it names the number, it names what was at risk. Another example: it does not look like I overlooked the data quality issue. It looks like I wanted to believe the dataset was balanced because I had checked the class distribution and the counts looked roughly even. I had not checked for the subgroup the join silently removed. And looking for it would have required admitting that the join might have been wrong. Another, I wanted to believe that "shows" was the right verb because "suggests" felt like hedging, and I had been hedging the whole semester and I was tired of it. The fluency you were defending is specific, personal, and often about time, investment, or a version of yourself you want it to be right. That is not weakness. That is the skill the course is training, and it is irreducibly yours to name. Every real build has a mistake that the instruments will surface if you run them honestly on the pre-registered suspect. No mistakes found is graded as not looking, not as a clean build. A clean confession is not evidence of a clean build. It is evidence that the instruments were not run, or were not run on the thing you were least sure about. The skilled response to a run that produced no finding. Go back to the pre-registered suspect from the build note in episode 1. That is the decision you were least sure about. Did you run an instrument specifically designed to probe that decision? If not, that is the instrument to run. The residual risk is honest, not a failure. Every instrument leaves something it cannot fully close. Naming what you could not fix and why it remains is what distinguishes a thorough audit from a superficial one. The student who writes the residual risk is that my proxy feature fix improved the out-of-distribution performance on the shifted slice I tested, but I cannot guarantee it generalizes beyond that slice, is demonstrating exactly the kind of calibrated uncertainty the course is training. That sentence is worth more than a clean finding you did not earn. Verdict for the confession, where I let the mistake in. 4 parts, all required: the specific mistake the instrument surfaced, why you wanted to believe the clean version, the fluency you were defending, which instrument caught it and what result, fix applied and residual risk named. Missing any one part drops the grade. No mistakes found is graded as not looking. Go back to the pre-registered suspect and probe harder. The fluency you were defending sentence. The "I wanted to believe" sentence is the irreducibly human part of the assignment. It names the investment at risk, not the bias type. That sentence is the skill the course is training. Residual risk is honest. Name what you could not close. Your turn. Here is the prompt. The prompt reads: I ran instrument name, for example, the proxy feature probe on my build. Here's the result. Paste the key finding, for example. When I removed account age and permuted its values, accuracy dropped 12 percentage points on the out-of-distribution slice, but only 1 point on the in-distribution test set. The pre-registered suspect I named in my build note was specific decision. For example, whether account age was a proxy for length of banking relationship or a direct signal of creditworthiness. Help me write the first draft of my confession in 4 parts. Part 1, state the mistake in 1 sentence using the result. Part 2, write the sentence: I wanted to believe the version that contained the mistake because reason, be specific about the reason. What was the investment at risk? What version of yourself were you defending? What would finding the mistake have meant for the work you had already done? Do not write I was optimistic or I had confirmation bias. Those are category names, not reasons. Part 3, state how the instrument caught it, which result, what comparison, what you could not explain away. Part 4, state what I changed and name one residual risk that remains. Do not soften Part 2. That sentence is the whole point. After Claude drafts the confession. Read Part 2 back to yourself. If it sounds like a bug report instead of a confession, you have not written the reason yet, you have written a label for the reason. Go one sentence deeper. The confession where I let the mistake in, lay 'em in for bear.